Answer the following questions. What is a cell? Cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of living organisms. Name the different organelles in a cell. The nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, mitochondria, vacuoles, plastids, chloroplasts are the different organelles in a cell. What are microorganisms? The organisms which cannot be seen with the eyes but can only be observed under a microscope are called microorganisms. Which are the different types of microorganisms? Algae, fungi, bacteria, protozoa and viruses are different types of microorganisms. Fill in the blanks with the proper word. The organelle called the dash is present in the plant cells only. Plastids. Garbage is converted into dash by microorganisms. Fertilizers. In the cell, photosynthesis is carried out with the help of dash. Chloroplasts. An electron microscope is necessary for the study of dash. Microbes, cell organelles. What is difference between us? Plant cell and animal cell. Plant cells have cell wall made up of cellulose. Animal cells do not have cell wall. The cytoplasm of the plant cells is lesser, granular and not dense. The cytoplasm of animal cells is more granular and dense. There is a single large vacuole located in center which pushes the cytoplasm to one end. The cytoplasm is uniformly distributed in the cell. There are no lysosomes. Lysosomes are present in the animal cells. The mitochondria are few in number. The mitochondria are greater in number as compared to the plant cells. Plastids are present only in plant cells. Plastids are absent in the animal cells. Prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. The nucleus of prokaryotic cell is not distinct. The nucleus of eukaryotic cell is distinct with nuclear membrane, nucleoli and nucleoplasm. Prokaryotic cells are about 1 to 10 micrometer in size. Eukaryotic cells are about 5 to 100 micrometer in size. The cell organelles, if present, are without membranes. The cell organelles are always bound with membranes. Mitochondria are absent in prokaryotic cells. Mitochondria are present in eukaryotic cells. Chlorophyll is present in the vesicles and not in plastids. Chlorophyll is always inside the chloroplasts. Sketch and describe in your own words the plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell. There is cellulose cell wall in plant cells which is the outermost covering of the cell. Inside the cell wall there is a plasma membrane that encloses cytoplasm. Cell organelles are embedded in the cytoplasm. Plastid is an important cell organelle present only in plant cells. Of these, chloroplasts perform photosynthesis. Nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, mitochondria are the cell organelles present in the cytoplasm. Vacuole is usually single and large. Since it is present in the center of the cell, the cytoplasm is pushed to one end. Animal cell. The outermost covering is plasma membrane. Inside this, there is cytoplasm in which the cell organelles are embedded. The cell organelles are as following: nucleus, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, and many smaller vacuoles. Explain the uses and the harmful effects of microorganisms. Microorganisms which are helpful are called useful microorganisms. Microorganisms present in nodules of leguminous plants convert atmospheric nitrogen into its compounds, and these compounds help to increase the soil fertility and protein content in the soil. Some microorganisms are useful in process of fermentation, making the food easily digestible and more nutritious. For producing milk products like butter, buttermilk, cheese, paneer, etc. Microbes present in soil, dung, etc. decompose garbage and convert into manure of best quality, and surrounding is kept clean. Microbes are also useful for sewage disposal. They help in decomposition of organic compounds in it. Microbes are used in production of vaccines. Microbes are also used in processes like tanning of skin, production of ropes and strings from agave. Some microbes use oil for their growth. Such microbes are used to clear a layer of oil floating on the surface of an ocean or lake formed due to leak or spill. Farm waste, human urine and feces, wet garbage, etc. is collected and used in a biogas plant to produce biogas and fertilizer. Harmful effects. Disease producing microorganisms are called pathogens. They are harmful microorganisms. Fungus grows on moist food and microbes release enterotoxins into the food. Such toxins spoil the foods. Eating such spoiled food causes food poisoning, that is, loose motions and vomiting. Pathogens may be present in water bodies contaminated with sewage and dirt from surroundings, in food with flies sitting on it. If such contaminated food or water is consumed, we may fall ill with diseases like amoebiasis, typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, gastro, etc. Pathogens are released in the air by a person having infection of the respiratory, sneezes, or coughs. A healthy person may get infected by pathogens on breathing in the same air and contract diseases like common cold, cough, diphtheria, pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. Microbes that cause diseases like malaria, dengue, elephantiasis, yellow fever, chikungunya, Zika fever, etc. gain entry into the human body through the bite of a female mosquito. Give reasons. Diseases spread on a large scale during periods of heavy rainfall and floods. Due to floods, there is shortage of clean, safe drinking water. It gets contaminated with sewage and dirt having disease causing pathogens, causing disease of alimentary canal, typhoid, cholera, dysentery. Due to stagnant water, many mosquitoes breed on it and cause diseases like malaria, dengue, etc. There is a possibility of food poisoning if we eat stale food. The stale food is likely to have microbes in it. Some of the microbes produce enterotoxins. The enterotoxins cause food poisoning. Therefore, there is the possibility of food poisoning if we eat stale food. Soil is turned over during tilling. There are some useful bacteria in the soil. They help to decompose organic substances into inorganic nutrients. Thereby, they produce fertilizers. Some microbes also help in nitrogen fixation. They help the plants to get nitrogen. Thus, to have better yield of crop, the soil is turned over during tilling to mix the bacteria. Fungus grows quickly in moist or humid conditions. The fungus needs suitable conditions for the growth. The moist and humid conditions are favorable to it. It does not grow in dry conditions. A refrigerator is used in almost every home. The harmful microbes do not grow in cold temperatures. They grow only in the temperature range of 15 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Refrigerator has very low temperatures. Food can be stored there without spoiling. Therefore, to store perishable food items, refrigerators have become essential in every home. Bread rises during baking. When the bread is prepared, yeast is added to it. Yeast is a type of fungus. It undergoes process of fermentation in the batter of bread and releases carbon dioxide. Therefore, the bread rises during baking. Fodder is soaked in water before offering to cattle. By adding the fodder into water, it is fermented. By fermentation, the vitamin content rises in the fodder. It also becomes easier for digestion. The cattle is thus well nourished. Therefore, fodder is soaked in water before offering to cattle. When will you use a simple microscope and when a compound microscope? Explain in detail how you will use them. I will use a simple microscope to magnify the objects and to see the growth of a fungi or mucor on a piece of moist bread. I will use the compound microscope in research laboratory and high school science lab to observe microorganisms which we are not able to see with our naked eye. Can you tell? Observe cells from various parts of plants like leaves, bark, root tips, etc. Question A. Are the cells that you observed all alike? No. All cells do not look alike. Each one has different shape and size. Question B. What are their shapes? The cells of leaves show a green pigment because of chloroplast. The shape of the cell may be spherical or polygonal. The shape of root tips are oval or polygonal, and the cells of bark are hexagonal in shape. Observe the roots of the pea, bean and fenugreek plants. What could be the functions of the nodules on their roots? Microorganisms are present in the root nodules. They fix the atmospheric nitrogen and make it available for plants. What happens if clothes remain damp in the rainy season? Due to humid atmosphere, the clothes do not dry completely during rainy season. Such damp clothes emit fall color. The flies and other insects hover around such clothes. What are the black or white spots sometimes seen on gunny bags? The black or white spots sometimes seen on gunny bags are due to the fungal growth. Why are leather articles like purses, wallets, belts, footwear always polished before storing away? They are polished so as to protect them from the growth of fungus. Polish creates a layer of wax on them so that moisture cannot enter from atmosphere. It prevents the growth of fungus which damages the leather. What is the powdery material found on old currency notes or old rubber or paper? The powdery material found on old currency notes or old rubber or paper is due to the fungal growth. Use your brain power. Where do the life processes of unicellular organisms take place? All the life processes of unicellular organisms take place in a single cell. Their feeding, digestion, excretion all take place through one cell. During reproduction, the same cell divides into two. How do the cells acquire definite shapes? The cells acquire definite shape due to their cell wall and plasma membrane. How are cells protected? The plasma membrane does not allow unwanted substances to enter in the cell. The cell wall of plant cell also protects the cells. Some protective proteins act against the harmful microbes. In this way, the cells are protected. What are the needs of cells? Cells need oxygen, nutrients and water. Why should dry and wet waste be collected separately? The wet waste can be decomposed using bacteria. This type of waste is called biodegradable. The dry waste is not biodegradable. It remains unchanged for a long period. The strewn waste like this causes ill health and also make a place look dirty. The waste like plastic causes harmful impacts in the surroundings. You can separate dry and wet waste. Decomposition of wet waste can make good fertilizers, whereas dry waste can be sold to scrap dealers. Therefore, in order to have a better management of waste, we should collect dry and wet waste separately. Why is yogurt mixed in the batter or dough for making rava idli, bhature, naan? Yogurt contains useful bacteria. They cause fermentation in the batter or dough if added in proper proportion. In this process, the heat, carbon dioxide and other gases are produced. This helps the flour to rise. The vitamin content also increases and the preparations become tasty and light. Therefore, is yogurt mixed in the batter or dough for making rava idli, bhature, naan? How do preparations like yogurt, idli, dosa become easy to digest? Preparations like idli, dosa are made from the batter that is fermented. Yogurt is also set with help of useful bacteria which carry out fermentation. The process of fermentation increases the volume of the substance and make them light. tasty, and more nourishing due to increased vitamin content. Therefore, they are easy to digest. What is the correlation between the normal body temperature of humans, which is 37 degrees Celsius, and the optimum temperature for the growth of microorganisms, 15 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius? Bacteria grow maximally in the temperature range between 15 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. In human body, their growth does not take place with the same intensity. If any microbe enters our body, the temperature automatically rises, resulting into fever, which kills these disease-causing microbes. Thus, naturally, man is protected against bacterial attacks.